The fourth knock came from inside the wardrobe. I was the only one in the apartment. I know that because I just walked through every room with the lights on, checking the locks twice the way my father taught me. It was my first winter in Edinburgh, and the flat was older than it looked in the listing. High ceilings, original fireplace sealed with plaster, and a wardrobe built into the wall beside the bed. The first knock had been soft. I told myself it was pipes contracting in the cold. The second was sharper, 3 distinct taps spaced evenly. The third was wrong. It sounded deliberate, like knuckles. And then the fourth came from inside the wardrobe door, close enough that the wood vibrated. I didn't open it. I stood there with my phone in my hand, listening. The flat had gone completely silent. Even the hum of traffic from the street below felt distant, muted. The wardrobe door was slightly ajar, maybe an inch. I hadn't left it that way. I live alone. I don't sleepwalk. The knocking stopped, but something shifted inside. Not loud, just the faintest scrape of fabric brushing against wood. I told myself there was a rational explanation. Old building, warped hinges, maybe a rat in the wall cavity. I forced myself to step forward and pull the door open fast, the way you rip off a bandage. It was empty. No coats moving, no boxes disturbed, just my winter jacket hanging still, the sleeves limp. I exhaled and laughed at myself, the kind of laugh you make when you need to hear something human. Then I noticed the back panel. The wardrobe wasn't flush with the wall. There was a narrow gap, an uneven seam running vertically behind the coats. I'd never paid attention to it before. I moved the jackets aside and pressed on the panel. It moved. The wood flexed inward slightly, and from the other side, something pressed back. Not hard, not enough to break through, just enough to meet my hand. I froze. My palm was flat against the thin board. On the other side, something mirrored the position. 5 distinct points of pressure. Fingers. The board trembled once, then 3 slow knocks, directly against my hand. I stumbled back, and the panel returned to place as if nothing had happened. The wardrobe interior looked perfectly normal again. I called the landlord the next morning. He sounded irritated, but agreed to come by. When he arrived, I showed him the panel. He sighed, reached into the wardrobe, and pulled. The entire back wall swung inward like a concealed door. There was no insulation behind it, no wiring, just a narrow crawl space running between my bedroom and the adjacent flat, a space large enough for a person to lie down in. The landlord paled. He said the neighboring flat had been vacant for months, no tenants, no viewing scheduled. He swore no one had access. We checked from the other side. The adjoining apartment was locked, dusty, untouched. No sign of entry, no footprints in the grime, no disturbances. The crawl space was empty, but along the wooden beam inside, carved into the dust in shaky lines, were 4 parallel grooves, as if someone had been counting. I moved out the same week. A month later, I received a letter from the landlord. He said new tenants had moved into my old flat, a couple in their 30s. He didn't write much, just one line that made my hands shake. They've asked about the knocking in the wardrobe.